Good morning. Thank you for stepping into the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your Foul Player. I wanted to make this video regarding AJ's mental condition or reported mental condition, or better yet, AJ's rumored mental condition. On a personal level, I'm making this video because your boy's a softie, bro. Fucking don't let me front on you, bro. 1 second. I may put on a tough act. I may look vicious when you see me in the videos. I'm just kidding. But no, seriously though, I'm a big softie, man. Fucking sometimes I be feeling bad for people, like fucking where it's not really merited. One time when my young ass was about to get jumped by these bitch ass dudes from up the block from where I used to live, which is 779 40th Street in Sunset Park. I was about to get my shit rung up by fucking these dudes from 7th Avenue and 40th Street, in conjunction with these other cats from fucking 5th Avenue and 40th Street, teaming up on your boy. But anyways, I was running home, fucking mind you, I can't run that fast, bro. I was always being outrun by my peers and my contemporaries when I was young. But I was keeping pace with these dudes, man. I was fucking I'm not gonna say outrunning them, but they weren't catching me, so to say. But they were gaining ground, if you will. But anyways, as I was running from them, I actually was running from like 44th Street and 7th Avenue, running towards my cribs, and I got to 7th Avenue and 40th Street. And luckily, three of my brothers were going to junior high school at that time. This was when I was in elementary school. And fucking I ran into my three brothers, boop, and there was some other kid named Flex that we were cool with. Fucking they were also with some other cat. I forgot his younger brother's name, Flex. He died though. But anyhow, we ran right into them, bloop, and fucking they're like, "Yo, what are you doing?" Like fucking like they like basically said hi to me, my brothers, and I was like, "Yo, these dudes are trying to jump me," and they ran right into, and the guys that were chasing me ran right into us. So I remember my brothers grabbed them up, and fucking they weren't like really hitting them, but they were like open palm, like beating the shit out of them. My brothers were like older than me too. Like by that time, they were probably like, my oldest brother was like 7 years older than me. My second oldest brother was like 6 years older than me. And my other brother, he's 3 years older than me. So they started like fucking slapping them around, blah, blah, like. And I felt probably good for like 30 seconds, and then it started being like a little bit over the top. And then on top of that too, my brothers my brother Caesar put one of them in like a full Nelson. Like he's like, "Yo, fuck him up, Joe." And I was like, that was like the last thing I wanted to do. You could probably tell in my face that I didn't want to do it. They're like, "Joe, you better hit him." Like fucking, they made your boy fucking partake in this child abuse. Fucking but I remember afterward I went home. Mind you, this is like the first time I was gonna get jumped ever in my life, and I was laying in my bed. Probably like 30 minutes after it happened. And I felt terrible for them dudes, man. I was like, fuck, man. Like, that was some sad shit to see. Because, like, they were eating them fucking, them slaps. Blah! Like, fucking, and my brothers were registering upon these young men. They tried to jump me the following day, too. No, like, I think, like, either the following day or, like, 2 days later again. Inside the school. And then I did outrun them, like fucking. They actually chased me up some stairs, and I fucking kicked one of them. And like they weren't expecting. They were just following me, like talking shit. And they caught up to me, and I fucking kicked one, and I fucking started dipping up the stairs. And then I did outrun them, and fucking I had the backup of the fine faculty at PS 169 fucking back me up because I ran right into their arms. Think fucking that was pretty much the end of that. But Yeah, but I remember feeling bad for them dudes, man. Like after it happened, and I've had other instances like that where maybe somebody who's not really deserving um, of the of my sympathy, like well, I'll feel bad for them after the fact. And this is kind of like one of those cases, like with in the sense that, to a degree, like AJ has been the object of my ire, and he's been the object of a lot of the dudes that I fucks with in the LDBC and in the greater boxing community. He's been the object of frustration for a lot of us because we thought that he was, oh, not that we thought that his side of the fence, as far as Hearn and Matchroom and AJ were like a big holdup when it came to AJ fighting Deontay Wilder. So this morning, I mean, and even last night too, I felt sort of bad for AJ. I'm not gonna front, and I felt bad for him on where he was at mentally. There was rumors that he was meeting with a sports psychologist before the fight. Some people saying that it was Dr. Phil that he was meeting with, who's a TV host here in America. When I heard that, I was kind of thinking like, yeah, maybe he's fucked up in the head. But I was also thinking like, man, maybe this dude's just trying to get on with or get on some sort of American media and act like he has some sort of mental problem. But then they were showing him like pre-fight. You know, they usually show fighters like in the zone and fucking not the zone the app, but like, you know, like operating like in the zone or like in a, you know, kind of like in their own headspace, like backstage, like before a fight. And every shot they showed of AJ was like where he looked fucking like just out of it, like, to be frank. I mean, like, I was like thinking like, man, like, you know, this dude finally got like a decent looking haircut, like fucking but as the night kept progressing, like I remember at one point, it might have been in the fucking Endem Caleb Smith fight, which is right before his fight, or the Katie Taylor whoever the fuck she fought fight, which is like 2 fights before Anthony Joshua's fight. I don't even think he had his kicks on. Like, I think they showed a shot of him, and he's like kind of like hurriedly, you know, like trying to put his like sneakers on like at a fast pace. They showed Andy Ruiz, and Andy Ruiz been the same since they announced that fight. The motherfucker was like just chilling. Andy Ruiz like strikes me as that person with that kind of demeanor. Like, you know, supposedly he's been fighting since he was 10 on a competitive level, which, you know, that says a lot. But in Anthony Joshua's case, like the fact that he didn't have his shoes on, like, you know, normally you see fighters in the back, you know, just doing a little something like fucking doing pad work or stretching or fucking I mean, like, this man's like trying to put on his own kicks. I don't whether he had hand wraps on or not, I'm not sure. But you got to get those pistons firing at that point. But throughout the night, like, and many times, like, he just looked like he wanted to be anywhere but there. When Andy Ruiz had already walked out, it was AJ's turn to walk out, and I was thinking like maybe it's some sort of stalling tactic. This fucking watching this dude walk by with what looks to be a prostitute. I wish I could show y'all. Yeah, but I was thinking like maybe it's some sort of stall tactic, but then like they were showing like the steel door, like, which is AJ's locker room or dressing room. After, or you know, Andy Ruiz already walked out. He already came out to his music and all this shit. Then they started waiting on Anthony Joshua, and it took a couple minutes. Like, they just showed like a steel door, and then like all of a sudden, the shit pops open. Anthony Joshua comes out to fucking like very low key music. It wasn't even loud. I was like thinking like, man, like I wonder if he fucking told like the MSG staff like, yo, like, you know, don't be playing this music loud because I don't know, it'll startle me. But even, you know, before the fight, I mean, like the dude looked like fucking, he was sweating bullets. Like when they were like announcing the names, like when they were both in the ring, they were doing the. I'm trying to think if they were doing the national anthems or not. I don't think so. I think they were actually. But they showed a shot of him where he was just clenching down on his fucking mouthpiece hard body. And he was just sweating fucking the fattest drops of sweat, bro. Like fucking. And I remember they panned away from him. Then they went back to him again, and it seemed like somebody wiped the sweat, you know, from his head, and he still looked fucked up. He still looked like he was sweating bullets. So I don't know, like mentally, like is AJ all there? Like I got, you know, we gotta ask ourselves that. You know, and again, like, you know, he's not the most sympathetic figure in all this, like fucking because according to, you know, what we've been being told by these people, like, you know, AJ's sitting on millions, and you know, AJ is an economy all on his own, fucking So I mean, like, you know, in that sense, you know, it's hard to feel like bad for him, but do I give credence that he may be going through some shit mentally? Absolutely. I mean, like, you know, what yesterday's result, I mean, I didn't talk about that much in my last video, but he quit. I mean, AJ, like, out, like, and, you know, I didn't, like, really put it like that. I didn't really have time to think whether he quit or not, because I did right after the fight was done. I left my house. But yeah, he did quit, bro. Like, I watched the fight like 2 times already, like since last night. And AJ did quit, man. Like when he got knocked out that last time, he turned his back completely on his opponent, looking out into the crowd. And when the judge told him to, I mean, when the ref told him to walk towards him, he put his hands on the rope. Like, so yeah, I mean, he did all the many signs of quitting without, you know, actually saying that he ain't want to fight no more. Even after the fight, he looked like he was anywhere but, you know, he just looked like out of it. You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll all agree with me, like whether he was out of it mentally or not, like immediately after the fight. But with all these other signs, as far as bringing in a sports psychologist or saying that Andy Ruiz wasn't maybe his immediate plans after this fight, I don't know, you know, fucking, you know, and it wasn't no shit where I think that this stuff is happening because he got his head wrung during the fight, because it wasn't that bad of an ass whooping. Like, I mean, I've seen way worse, and I've seen dudes come back, and, you know, get right back on the horse, you know. Nah, I think, you know, the pressure, like, did get to him. And, you know, at this stage, you know, the pressure's not even all there. Like, you know, it really isn't. Like, you know, you just have the pressure of holding down, like, you know, these 4, according to you guys, belts. But, you know, that's a really, you're really in the early stages of being a champion. You know, you're still young, as of yesterday, you know, early stages of being a champion. You know, you were a champion for like 2 years, let's say, like, you know. So, you know, whether it was this attempt at an American takeover that got to him, like, I mean, like, you know, it's been done before, like, so I mean, like, you can't say that it was that was the one instance and like fucking like, you know, boo-hoo, like, you know, like he, like, or as if he's been through something that other fighters haven't been through. But Deontay Wilder actually had an interview post-fight with 7-8 Sports TV, and make sure you subscribe to that, to the General, in which he said that, like, a big part of the sport, or a big part of a fighter is the mental. A big percentage of you know, of what a fighter brings to the table is mental. And I agree, you know, it's a kind of an old adage, I guess, or you know, we've kind of like heard it all before, sure, but that is a big part of it. You know, boxing's a fucking tough sport, man. You know, fighting somebody, like some of y'all dudes like talk a lot of shit, but fucking, if they told you, listen, on Tuesday you're gonna fight fucking Jim from accounting, like y'all probably wouldn't eat like like fucking for a day or some shit, man. And I'm in the same boat, bro. I'm not gonna act like I'm fucking. And I've been in many fights, but you know, if they told you, you know, you're gonna fight Friday or some shit, you know, fucking, you ain't gonna be fucking out around town like doing regular shopping shit. Like, I mean, some of y'all got mad heart, bro. Like, fucking, I'll give it up. I'll give it up to y'all. But, you know, you don't just carry on just like that and fucking, you know, keep it rocking. Like, continue to go on about your day, fucking shopping, fucking, working, having sex, and, you know, whatnot. Fucking, it does creep into your mind. And some dudes ain't built for that shit, man. Like, some dudes ain't built like that. Like, fucking, I mean, they made it seem like, you know, AJ was a specimen, and last night brought that all down. And I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, fucking, I mean, do I sympathize with in that, in as far as somebody going through some shit mentally? I mean, a little bit. I'm not a dick like that. Like, fucking, you know, the mental problems do exist, like, fucking, if you will. But I mean, we'll see where it goes from here. Like, fucking, and if he is going through that, man, I hope you get back on the horse. Like, fucking, get back to the winning end. Like, fucking, or as far as life, you know, fuck the boxer shit. All right, man. With that, I'm out. I fucking went 17 minutes, bro. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Fucking make sure you subscribe to my brothers, Michael Johnson Boxing Talking More. My brother Lowe's Dawkins, the P. And with that, fucking, I'm out, man. Peace.